In late 2016, Pyrocynical uploaded a gaming video with him playing a game of Overwatch with a rather obnoxious, loud individual.
You know the fox from Zootopia? I would fuck the fox from Zootopia. He's hot.
Can someone quote her on that?
No,
don't put that in.
No,
I'm adding that in the video.
I'm adding that in the video. I'm sorry.
No, don't put that in the video.
There's a lot of
video with no context.
Well, this person ended up being a person named Squizzy, an individual who was in a romantic relationship with Pyro at some point in late 2016 to early 2017. Hyojin ended up annoying many people in the gaming video and ended up being the punching bag of the comment section. The hate got so bad in the comments for Squizzy that Pyro's next video, which was titled "The Problem with YouTube Comments," was a video defending Hyojin, and all the people that made fun of her in the comments have been banned and are unwelcome back to the channel. So scrolling through the comments of that video in today's time, we can see most of the hate comments are indeed gone.
The comments started to go from broad hate to singling out this one girl, and that's fucked. That's horrible. That's targeted harassment. It went from one or two people saying questionably funny quips to just this whole like herd mentality of people piling in, and I had to ban a few people because what they were saying was just really fucking horrible to read.
Obviously, from this video we can see that Pyro was generally upset for their friend that was being targeted. It is obvious that Squizzy must have gone to Pyro being upset about it, and someone that may have been in a romantic relationship with Pyro at the time, it makes sense to me to why this video was made. Hyojin, or if we're going to go by her YouTube name, Squizzy, is an Australian 23-year-old woman who makes animation memes on YouTube. Her channel has been around since 2012, but her earliest public video dates back to 2017, so it's safe to say that she has pirated most of her old content for whatever reason. Hyojin has appeared as a very innocent person on YouTube when looking at her channel at first glance, but if we peel back the bullshit, we get quite a spiteful and hateful person. This is the dark side of Hyojin, starting with a situation that has been long forgotten, including that the people that were directly involved in it. In 2019, when Slazzo was falsely accused of being a rapist, people like Hyojin played a huge part in it. I'm Alex, Hyojin and Quite were in a private Discord group chat with Shay, asking her for more screenshots and making sure that Slazzo has no way to redeem himself. Screenshots of the conversation got leaked by some anonymous person in the group chat. After Slazzo came out pretty much debunking everything, incriminating against him, people like Hyojin refused to come out and apologize. When Shay first came out with her story, Hyojin and I'm Alex were some of the biggest creators to defend her publicly. Hyojin even made tweets such as, "Abuse can't be something that can be swept under the rug. In the Instagram conversation you had with him, there's clear proof of him admitting to it, and even worse, prioritizing his reputation and then making it up to you. Love you, Shay. You're one of the strongest people I know." This tweet is going to become bitterly ironic later. And here is another screenshot of her trying to get the community against Slazzo. It is worth noting that Hyojin did eventually end up apologizing to Slazzo in a now lost live stream. This was in July of 2020. Hyojin also revealed that Slazzo followed them on Twitter, calling him their biggest fan. Some people think that they are most likely on good terms in today's time, although it is worth noting that if this situation never came out to the public light, Slazzo wouldn't have felt this amount of pressure to quit YouTube, since the man, after this drama died down, ended up leaving the site. After Turkey Tom's video on the Slazzo situation, he briefly spoke about allegations of Hyojin abusing a dog that she used to live with. These allegations were leaked with an anonymous Discord user that was claiming that the dog allegedly lived with her. The Discord message explained how Hyojin picked up the dog and proceeded to drop it on its back and laugh about it. She eventually came out with a statement saying that she has never abused animals in her life, let alone a dog. However, many didn't believe her side due to the fact that she mentioned that the dog would usually bite and scratch her, making others believe that she was making an excuse about abusing the dog. A person that goes by the name A Kind Al War came out with a statement going further into the situation. This is someone that lived with the dog and its owner. Aiden said that Hyojin did not live with the dog and she didn't drop the dog on the floor, but instead reflexively pushed it off the couch when it jumped on her, which is what the source claimed was abuse. He said that this had happened multiple times with different people due to the dog's poor training. Aiden claims to have talked with the dog's owner since, and the owner regrets posting the story about Hyojin to the public. It is also worth noting that Gitty explained how Hyojin has abused animals before, and this is not the first time, but they only explained how Hyojin mocked the death of her cat, which if you ask me isn't exactly animal abuse, just being a cunt. Also, I understand with this I'm showing little evidence and tweets about this. That will be because most of this has been lost in time, and a lot of it is a he said she said situation, so everything with the animal abuse accusations needs to be taken with a grain of salt. In 2019, a Discord message was leaked of Hyojin ranting at someone, calling them the N-word multiple times. The message says the following: "No, you stupid fucking Fuck you, piece of shit. You are the worst person I've ever spoken to. I hope you fall into the toilet backwards, arse-eating, self-human, centipede looking ass, Canadian beaver teeth looking ass shithead, get a life in the sewers and make a living off drinking cancer leaking out of your colon love tunnel, and you dirty sand. Hyojin has said I hate the N-word on stream and was called out by her friends for it.
Oh, Lando, stop!
Yo, fuck those Australians.
You said it in the chat, you fucking idiot.
Hey, what are you fucking black ass?
Oh my god! No!
Okay, get her out of here.
Oh my god! Hyojin!
Get her
You
out.
idiot! Oh my god! No, I can't! It's fun!
Hyojin had a not safe for work account online where she would draw YouTubers in pornographic nature. She received extreme backlash when people found a picture of a drawing she made of a Twitter user named Eileen9Tells. Hyojin, with her art skills, drew her in very explicit manners, sexually. People accused her of being a pedo since she was 18 at the time of making these explicit drawings. When addressing this to the public, she stated that she was going to kill herself, and from a leaked Discord message, she was rushed to a mental hospital. This was in July 2019, so since then, she was obviously let out of the mental hospital. Punk Duck is a YouTuber with over 200,000 subscribers. He makes well-edited gaming videos on YouTube, some of which he plays the game and then comments about the game itself with a bit more insight about it. On the 19th of July this year, he came out with a statement on Twitter explaining how he has been physically and emotionally abused by Hyojin. My ex-partner, Hyojin/Squizzy, was abusive to me, both emotionally and physically, from 2019 till half of 2021. They beated me, they berated me, put me down and assaulted me. Evidence of this is linked at the end. Where do I even begin? When we started dating, it was fine, great even. For a while, the first 6 months were mostly fine. Occasionally, they would do the classic redirect anger you're feeling from unrelated issues to your partner and berate me, but I kept being promised it would stop, and I believed it. At one point, they screamed at me and said I was fucking useless and forced me out my own room so they could stream to raise money for the ticket. Naturally, I obeyed their orders and made them dinner while they streamed. A couple of days, on January 3rd, 2020, my partner had received an early press copy of a game and asked if I could help install it. Turns out getting early copies to work on a Steam is fucking ball ache and neither of us could figure it out. The usual stuff happens, yelling, blaming me, telling me to fuck off, so I just go and sit on their bed on the verge of tears. They proceed to, in the same room I'm in, get on Discord with a voice chat of their friends and start chatting like nothing is going on. I lie there in pressure and disbelief. I mustered up the courage to ask, are you actually doing this? A bad idea. Very bad idea. Hyojin defends the call. I tell them what they did is fucked up and they hit me. Hard. So hard in fact my head bounces off the wall. We just stand there, motionless, and without saying a word, I ask, what the fuck did you just do? They start crying and storm out into the guest room in their house. This was the first moment I realized I was in an abusive relationship. I start gathering my shit at first so I can leave without Hyojin walking in on me packing. Hyojin walks in on me packing, asks me what I'm doing. Before I can even answer, they realize, they start crying that I've already ruined their year. I tell them I'm fucking terrified of them. They run to the bathroom and grab a knife. At first they pointed it at me, then at themselves. I lunge to try and disarm them, and they scratch up my arm pretty bad. I managed to get the knife, but it was at this point that their mother walked in. She starts screaming at Hyojin saying they're an attention whore, a drama queen, how they always do this, that they're sick in the head, and then she just walks away like she didn't see anything. Lovely woman. The police show up along with the ambulance. I tell them what happened, and they take my partner away. I take an Uber back to my friend's place. I had no idea where my life was gonna go the next couple of days. Hyojin texts me and says we're through. Tells me I've ruined their life. It's all my fault they're gonna get a criminal record. Tells me how I don't love them, and I apologize. The police let them go with a warning. We spend an hour texting and Hyojin manages to convince me that this whole ordeal is my fault. Hyojin forces me to pay for an Uber to take them to the place I'm staying at so they can drop the rest of my shit off. Hyojin makes me meet with them outside so we can talk. I pretty much end up begging for them to take me back, and they do. We get back together, and I even end up helping them write a statement for the police so they don't get a criminal record. I was promised things would get better, constantly suicide baiting, telling me that if I leave, they would kill themselves, telling me my friends suck and I should cut them off, and then projecting that I'm somehow the one that hates their friends. They would also do the classic move, using my insecurities against me, from using my car accident to belittle me in public, servers with people I barely knew, or bringing up friends of mine that had passed away to get a rise out of me during an argument. Incredibly normal behavior. Now I've brought this up to Hyojin directly, and they have apologized to me and reassured me that they are seeking help. While this is nice to hear, I have hard time believing them since. The apology came out 24 hours after calling me childish, and quite honestly, shit attempt at gaslighting. Weeks before our breakup, they told me they had lied throughout our entire relationship. relationship, about seeing a therapist and being medicated because, quote, I lied to make you feel better. Abusers deserve no sympathy. If you're trapped in a situation like this, don't wait for things to get better. Leave and don't look back. I believed every promise every time. Don't make the same mistake I did. After reading this, the first impression that I get is that she's an unstable criminal that needs help. Punkduck proceeds to show WhatsApp messages between the two, and it's just her blaming him for everything, like when he called an ambulance because he was worried of what she was going to do to herself. But he also shows her apology that she made on Discord, and he also shows a part where she pretty much calls herself an abuser. If you wish to read these messages for yourself, I will leave a link to the Google Drive in the description. Punkduck makes a tweet a week after dropping the allegations by saying how she has been radio silent and how she is probably just waiting for everyone to forget about the situation. But on 2nd of August this month, Squizzy finally made a post apologising to Punkduck. I feel like letting Colossal Crazy read it out is the perfect way to do it.
I want you to know that I'm sorry. I've been going to therapy for a bit and I'm still on that journey. I've seen progress in myself, but I still want to push for more change. I'm sorry for not making that change earlier. Yeah, it would have prevented so much pain that I caused. Yeah, I'm sorry. Ed had every right to post this because victims are allowed to talk about their abusers, especially if it'll help with the healing process. I'm not saying that this fixes everything, of course. I just know it needed to be posted. This is all completely fair and justified. I felt like my private apology to Ed was sincere, but I get why it didn't come across that way, and my snap reaction was just me being a cunt. There's nothing I could do to undo the things I've done, and I've disappointed, angered, and sickened people with what I've done. I'm sorry. I don't want this to happen again. I look at the person I was a couple years ago, and even if I have changed, those were my actions, and I understand that this is deserved. Actions have repercussions, and every bad decision I've made has hurt people. I know that no matter how much I change in the future, that I'll still be that person in people's eyes. Oh, I'm sorry for all that. There isn't much more I could say other than I'm sorry. Now, I'm going to reflect on this for a long time and take a very, very long break. I'm not going to come back till I'm better. I just hope I can show the change clearly for people to see in the future.
At this point in time, Punkduck hasn't responded to Hyojin, and I don't think he's going to anytime soon. Hyojin has proven to everyone that she's an abusive person and just needs to take time to fuck off and change for the better. You can only help someone that wants to help themselves. Hyojin, throughout her career on YouTube, has always shown how she can be a very unstable person, and I don't think this will be the last time she'll be in drama. Hopefully things get better for Punkduck. Also, I'm generally sorry that you had to go through all this hell. I've been WackyTV. Follow Twitter and podcast, and until next time, Hyojin is a bitch.